Wait. Oh, come on.
You're live.
Am I? Right.
Yeah.
Hello, guys and girls, and welcome back to a brand new video today. This is a League One prediction video table. Yes, I done my League 2 one a few days back with Joe and Morgan, but I've been waiting for Morgan for about 2 days and asked him if he wants to do it today for the League One predictions. But he just hasn't messaged back. So I've got Jack as his replacement, and
So we
Jack.
got an upgrade.
Jack was more wanted to do this more than the League 2 one. I was like, why? Well, okay. But we've got Joe, who is an Ipswich fan, unfortunately, but he's a Stevenage fan as well. And obviously,
And
me and
Chelsea.
Jack are the Super White Army. Come on, you boys. All the whites. Right. So we've got Joe, we've got Jack. Joe and Jack. Just a question before we start. Thoughts on last season in League One? Starting with Joe.
Thoughts on League One? Fair play to Wigan, especially when, the last season they were going out of business and obviously they came top. Rotherham are the yo-yo club. Sunderland, they're a massive club and they deserve to be in Championship.
Yeah. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, like League One is expected. Rotherham were going to go up. They just come back to League One for a little holiday for one season, then they go back up.
Yeah, definitely.
Then Sunderland, yeah, they shouldn't have been in League One in the first place.
Yeah. So my thoughts are obviously Tranmere Rovers were there 2 seasons ago. Obviously with the PPG shit, but yeah.
Absolutely robbed.
But I think can Tranmere Rovers get back to League One next season? It's going to be difficult. Obviously, and just before we start, Jack, what are your thoughts on Mickey Mellon possibly going to Blackpool?
If he leaves, I wouldn't be too bothered as long as we get someone good in.
And Jack? Joe, sorry.
The only question I've got for you, Alex, is what you can do with your melon hat.
Yeah.
Hey.
You should burn it.
Melon hat. Did someone say melon hat? Did someone say melon hat?
That is not a melon hat.
I know, but
you've moved on.
MCV, but yeah,
you've moved on.
Yeah, so who would you want to see as the new Tranmere manager, Jack?
Well, there's the obvious one that's Challoner, but
yeah,
will he leave
that's Stockport?
Will he leave Stockport? I don't know. So I'd like the Chelsea coach, Anthony Barry.
Is he at Wigan?
No.
No, Wigan's Liam Richardson, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, so do you want to let's get on with the first team?
Yep.
Right. For the first team, I put us getting relegated in League One for this coming season in 2022-23 season. I've gone for Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury Town are obviously a team who have always been up there. They've been up there in League One, but they've been fighting for survival from getting relegated. But I do think it will be their year to get relegated to League Two for next season. Obviously, Tranmere Rovers won there a few years back. Obviously, winning there was a fantastic game. Winning, I think we were like 2-0 up, and then it was 2-2. And then Corey Blackett-Taylor scoring last minute, 95th minute, absolute carnage limbs. But yeah, so I'm saying Shrewsbury. What about you, Jack?
I've gone with Morecambe. As a manager, I do not rate Derek Adams. I think he can get teams out of League Two, but I don't think he can do it in League One. And Morecambe were very close to going down last season. But yeah, I just don't think they're good enough for League One, really.
Right, okay. Joe?
I went for Fleetwood. I just think
Reasons?
I just think they just don't look too good, and just it seemed like they're just disinterested in it, to be honest. And I just feel like it's going to carry on going forward.
Right, okay. So we're going on to number 23. My team is a team that got promoted to League One last season, and that is Exeter City. I just think Exeter City are one of them teams that have a good season and then they bottle it next season. So obviously they've got some great players in their squad. Obviously a few players have left, but can I see them staying up? Probably not, possibly not. But from this is only my opinion. What I'm thinking, I don't think they've got the right team to stay up. But yeah, that's why I'm saying them to 23rd. Jack?
I've gone with Forest Green. Rob Edwards has left. Kane Wilson has left. Their number 10, who was only on loan from Barnsley, is staying at Barnsley. They're just falling apart, aren't they?
Who's the Barnsley player?
Is it Aitchison or something?
Oh yeah, it's just I know, yeah.
Ebou Adams has left Danny as well.
Ebou Adams has left, yeah.
He's joined
And,
Cardiff.
I think
Yes.
and they've brought in a really good replacement for Kane Wilson, to be fair. Corey O'Keefe. But I don't know, their manager doesn't have
Right,
much
okay.
experience.
Joe?
I've also went for Forest Green. Basically the same reason as Jack, and also you got their goal scorer Matt Stevens, as he's done his ACL, so he's going to be out probably till the end of Christmas. And I just think it would be a big ask to rely on someone like Jamal Matt.
Yeah. Is Jamal Matt still at the club?
I think
I
so.
think so.
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind if Trommy take a punt on him. You do
That's what he
bits,
needs,
I
though.
reckon. I reckon he'll do bits. So going on to my 22nd, as what you've just said, I've said Forest Green. Obviously, they think they're a big club. Obviously, they've only got a small fan base. I think it's about 3,000, 4,000 fans around there. But yeah, obviously winning the league last season is good for them. But do I think they will stay up? Not a chance. Losing their manager, Rob Edwards, in my personal opinion, if Mellon goes, I would have loved him at Tranmere because I think he'd get us out of the mud, and I think he'd do well. So yeah, I've set Forest Green to finish 22nd. Jack?
I said another promoted side, Exeter. And like the same reasons as you, like all their better players are aging. Like look at Matt J. I think he's like late 20s now.
Yeah,
Dieng's
29, I think.
30. Dieng's 30 this year. Unless he can, they need around 8, 9 players to bring in for them to have a good chance of staying up. I
Yeah.
think.
Hasn't Dieng been released?
I'm not
don't
too
think
sure,
so,
you
no.
know.
No,
I thought
We've
he
got
has.
one person in the chat, but I'm not too sure if he is. But I think Dieng is still at Exeter, I think. Joe, who's
He
your
is.
22nd?
My 22nd is I'm gonna go with. I might go Morecambe. Basically the same with the Derek Adams thing. I just don't think they will survive. Yeah, like you say, he's good at getting into League Two. Obviously, he didn't do it with Bradford, but Bradford, you had that high expectations and everything else. And a team like Morecambe, you think they wouldn't be around there. So I thought Morecambe 22nd.
So my 21st, I'm sorry if there's any fans watching this, but I do think Fleetwood will go down to League Two the next season, obviously in 2023-24 season. Obviously, the amount of times they've been trying to avoid relegation, obviously they've done it, but I just think it's going to be the end of it. I think Stephen Creaney is their manager, or is he still there?
Scott Brown now.
Scott Brown.
I don't know. Obviously, a new manager. Do you think he would do well? I'm not too sure. But what are your thoughts on that, Scott Brown as their new manager? Jack?
Well, I'll go on to that in a minute, so you can go to Joe.
All
Right.
I want is to see Fleetwood versus Bristol Rovers, Scott Brown versus Joey Barton. That's a pay-per-view and a half.
yeah. So yeah.
I want to go to
So-
that game. I don't know who's the closest to me, but I just want to go to that game.
Sit
Probably
right by the
Bristol,
dugouts.
I'll probably
100%.
say Bristol, Joe. Joe, I'll
Huh?
probably say Bristol.
Yeah, probably.
Right. So going on to number 21 for Jack. Go on.
I've gone with Fleetwood as well. Like, Scott Brown is a very risky appointment. He's never
Sorry, go
been
ahead.
never managed the team before. I don't know. I think they've been lingering near there for a few years now, apart from Joey Barton's season when he almost get in playoffs.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And I think next season will be their time.
Right. Joe?
My 21st is Exeter. I feel like they have got an aging team, but I think they still have a little bit of fight in them. I think they need to sign that Cameron Dawson permanently from Sheffield Wednesday
Oh,
if they want any chance.
Interesting.
they're Exeter are getting Nathan Bishop, I think.
Nathan Bishop. I mean, like, that's a good
Right.
He's a good
So
young
we've
keeper.
got right just before you say anything. Someone's just put a Dale fan is just saying you should sign Alex Newby. Start there as a clueless manager and he doesn't know what his best players are.
I was thinking that. Like, I was watching.
Would you have him, Joe?
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
What one? Who?
He's
But why
like,
would you play him? Because
he can play on the left
can
instead
he
of
play on the
four.
wing?
Yeah, I think that's very.
Can he play on
does
the
play.
wing? Dale are going up.
I'd much prefer that number 18 though. If we'll get any Rochdale player,
Who for?
Rochdale, that Odo or something.
How's Odo been playing? I don't know, but yes. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe. But carry on.
That's right. I just think Exeter, like you say, they've got an aging team. I think Matt Jay's not getting any younger. I still think they need to sign Cameron Dawson. Even if Bishop does join, I think he will do well. I just think it's the rest of the players around him. So that's why I put Exeter 21st.
Do you think Matty J should move on to a different club?
No, I think he should stay maybe another season because of his
Okay.
League One. To maybe test himself, and then if it goes down the pan, then see where he goes from there.
Right. Okay. So going on to number 20, I've gone for Port Vale. Yes, Port Vale won the playoffs. Did they deserve to win the playoffs? I don't know. They've got an okay team, but they've got Darryl Clark. Obviously, he's a fantastic manager. And do you know what, Jack? I will
take
say
him.
this. I will take him at Tranmere massively. If Mellon goes, bring him in because he knows
You won't drop down a league.
he might do. But I can't see it in my eyes. But I will take him as our next manager massively. So yeah, I'm saying Port Vale 20th.
I've said the Lincoln City.
Ooh.
Didn't have a great season last season. Who have they brought in as their new manager? Because Appleton left, didn't he?
It's someone from I think it's Birmingham City's assistant. I think it is.
Who's that?
I don't know, but he was Birmingham City's assistant. So
Again with Scott Brown, that's another risky appointment, but I think it feels like Lincoln have more of a fight in them and a better squad than Fleetwood do. So I'd say they'd stay up over
Okay.
Fleetwood.
Joe?
number 20, yeah.
Yes.
I've gone for Cheltenham. I just think some of their players have left. Their goalkeeper went to Mansfield. One of their defenders went to Huddersfield. They
That's Scott Flinders.
Scott Flinders, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good keeper. He was at Hartlepool a few years back.
Yeah, he
Decent.
was. And I just think they need to keep hold of Alfie May, I think.
Oh,
And,
class player. I'd have
He
him
is,
at Tranmere.
I mean, he won't go to Tranmere, but I'll have him at Ipswich. But I just think they need to keep hold of him and hope for the best.
Right. Okay. Going on to number 19. Mine is Morecambe. Obviously, the same things as Jack, basically. Obviously, with the manager. He's okay in League Two, but do I think he can keep Morecambe in League One for next season? I do think they can stay up because obviously Cole Stockton is their best player by far. I think how many goals did he score last season?
About 25.
Oh, of course it would be when he would be an old Tranmere striker that gets 25 goals in League One when he was shit for us.
I think it's just six to him, really. If you leave Tranmere, you do well. A bit like Ipswich with Will Keane.
Right, yeah, so that is my Morecambe. So you're number 19. Joe.
I've gone with Shrewsbury. I don't know too much about them, but I looked at the squad before this and they've not got anyone exciting really. And their manager plays like, I've heard a few Shrewsbury fans say it's like a very old school, boring style of football. So yeah, that's why I've gone. I don't think they'll go down, but because I think there's worse teams and them that will go down. But yeah,
Right.
I think they'll just about stay up.
Right. Joe, usual.
My 19th I went for was Port Vale. I just think it's their first season, and I think so a team like them will have that buzz like the Morecambe and Cheltenham did last season. So I feel like they'll have that buzz, and I think they'll stay in it. And I think they'll have a good old transfers ahead. I think they'll get a lot of players in as well.
Right, mine is Lincoln, number 18. I'm saying Lincoln because obviously they've lost Michael Appleton. Obviously, I'm not too sure why. He's a good manager. Would I have him at Tranmere? Most probably, yes. But I think he could bring in players that are decent. Obviously, I don't know many of their players, as of Jack is saying. But I don't know. It's one of them. Obviously, I remember when Lincoln were really good in League Two and they're obviously getting promoted. They've had a good FA Cup run a few years back. Then obviously getting to the quarterfinals against Arsenal, really good from them. But yeah,
I've gone with Cheltenham. Similar reasons to Joe. They've lost all their players pretty much. Like, especially if Michael Duff goes to Blackpool or Barnsley. I think they could even go down if they lose Michael Duff. But yeah, similar reason to Joe, really.
right. Go on, Joe.
We are on what number are we on?
17. No, 18,
18.
sorry.
18. I went for Lincoln. I just think, like you say, I think it's another big risk having a Birmingham City assistant. It could work two ways. It could be under the radar because no one doesn't know how he plays. But I just think with Lincoln, I think he needs a lot doing like 2 seasons ago, they're in the playoffs, and then this last season they're near relegation zones. So I think that's where they're going to be around now.
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it really. Thank you.
Sorry. Right, my next team is it's a team from the Championship, right? And it's Derby County. I feel sorry for them, obviously, from what's going on. They haven't got an owner. They're not doing anything about it. I just feel so sorry for the fans and the club, the manager, the assistant, and everything. But it's just not working at Derby, is it? But I don't know if they've got like another 12 points deduction. I'm not too sure on that. But I think they can just about survive into League One. And I think they'd be a great club again if they get the money. And personally, I honestly thought the team that Derby have got could be a team that can win League One. But I'm not too sure if that will happen anytime sooner rather than later. But yeah, Morgan's saying, sorry, couldn't meet me. It's all right, mate, no worries. But yeah, so I'm saying Derby at number 17. Now what's Jack?
I've said Port Vale. Like Joe said, they'll have that like newly promoted buzz about them. Like you said, Alex has got a really good manager in Darryl Clark, and we play like exciting football. Like it's really, I like watching Port Vale.
Yeah.
So I reckon they'll easily stay up. I don't think relegation will be that much of a threat to them at any point in the season. But yeah.
My 17th I've gone for is Shrewsbury. Again, I think Shrewsbury is sort of an aging team, but when they got Steve Cottrell? I feel like he can just about steer them in the right direction, and I think there's worse teams than Shrewsbury.
Right, my 16th is Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley have been a team that have been there, had their ups, had their downs. They've literally just stayed in the 12th, 13th, 14th. What I'm saying, they're going to finish 16th. I don't know many of their players. I think their manager is John Coleman. But yeah, I can't really say much because I don't know much about Accrington Stanley. All I know is they play at the One Stadium.
Shit at my end. I've got Derby. I think if they get point deduction, I think they'll easily overcome it, like they did last season and almost stayed up. But yeah, like they do have a good squad now and a good manager, but there's that worry of the financial issues to stop them from challenging for a playoff or an automatic space. But yeah, they won't go down, I don't think.
Go on, Joe.
16th, I've gone for Bristol Rovers. I think Bristol Rovers will have a solid sort of season. Again, they've still got some aging players like the Glenn Whelans, the Leon Clarks, and things like that. Paul Coots. I feel like they'll have a bit of a role, but not as much now, obviously because of their age. And I think they'll be really happy where they're going to be happy near mid-table.
Right. Going on to number 15. Mine is Cambridge. Cambridge have had a great season. I think that obviously last season, getting so many goals, so many wins, beating teams that they don't normally beat. Obviously, they've got former Tranmere Rovers player in what's his name? He used to play for Tranmere on loan.
Who are you thinking of?
He's a striker. Is his name Sam? Something.
Sam Smith.
Yeah, Sam Smith. Yeah, obviously he's been scoring for fun there. But obviously, when you come to Tranmere Rovers, They don't do anything. But when you go to a different club, you do something. And obviously, they've got some great players in their squad. I think they've got a former Norwich player. Is it Houlihan?
Yeah.
I think he's left.
Wes Houlihan. I think he's not
Yeah,
there.
he retired last season. But yeah, I think he's a great player. But yeah, I think Cambridge will be all right and they will be 15th. Going on to Jack.
I've said Burton just for the reason I didn't know who else to put there. They've got Umar Nias up front, so I'm sure he'll bag enough goals for them to keep them up. Yeah, I don't really know much about them other than they've got Umar Nias and they want Cal McDonald, which I would cry if that happens. So yeah.
I don't think, but I heard Hasbank could be going to somewhere, but don't know.
He was linked with Barnsley, wasn't he? But then apparently the Barnsley officials didn't turn up to the Zoom call or something like that, I've heard.
No. Go on, Jack. Joe, sorry.
What number are we on?
Getting mixed up because your both names Joe and Jack.
16, yeah? No, 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
15, I've gone for Burton. I think Jimmy Ford Hasselbank. I think he will improve this team this season. I feel like you'll get signings in, like you say, with Omar Niaz. He's still got players, I think, if they're still there, like Michael Mantian, Cameron Bothrick Jackson, Premier League sort of players who came from Premier League clubs. I feel like they'll do all right. Not too good, but just steady.
Right, on to Team 14. Mine is Burton Albion. Obviously, they've got the likes of Nias, Hasselbank, great manager, knows the club real well. Obviously, he's done things there. He's been promoted with a few teams. I just think, in my personal opinions, I could have put Burton higher, but obviously, for the players they've had some great players at their club. Obviously, beating teams. They've played Tranmere a few times, and obviously, different things have happened. Tranmere have won, Burton have won. But being in League One for them is really good. So, yeah, I'm staying 14th for them.
I have said Accrington Stanley. I think John Coleman, I like him as a manager. Yeah, he plays like, but they're like the Burnley of League One, aren't they? They shit out the odd 1-0 win everywhere and draw the rest of their games. So yeah, I think that'll keep them up.
Go on, Joe.
14, I've gone with Accrington. Like you say, John Coleman. John Coleman's a good manager. I think his name's Sykes. I think they need to keep hold of him at the back. I just think they need to sort out the defence out as well because that leaked a load of goals last season. So I think they need to get a couple in that. And who are they?
I don't know, who are they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. On to number 13. Mine is Cheltenham. We've got some great players in their squad. Alfie May, great player, great striker, scores goals for fun. They had a great manager in Michael Duff, who is left. But yeah, I think they'll just be. I think they'll be okay for next season because I think they're a great team in Cheltenham, obviously. So yeah, I'm sticking with 13th for Cheltenham.
I said Bristol Rovers 13th. They've got a really good manager of Joey Barton. He's finished. Almost got playoff Fleetwood in League One before, and if you can do that with Fleetwood, who knows what you can do with Bristol Rovers for this? If they can get Connor Taylor on loan again from Stoke, and bring in that Southampton centre back that was on loan at Carlisle last year, who they might be getting, that they'll be really good signings. So, yeah, 13th, Bristol Rovers.
Go on, Joe.
13th, I've gone for Cambridge. I feel like you say that Sam Smith's really good. They've also got players like Joe Ironside. I think he's a really good player. I think the
Hasn't he
goalkeeper-
gone to Bolton?
No, that's Irondale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Idale. Yeah, Idale.
Yeah,
Right.
he's their left back. Yeah. So I feel like that's if they keep them two fit and firing, I think they'll be doing well. Gutted about
Yeah.
Houlihan, but then they've also got people like Paul Digby as well. He's a good young player. Jack Laxter, who's played for Ipswich,
Ooh,
Uh,
yeah.
and other players. Really, I feel like they could do well.
Yeah. Just before we go on to the next one, guys, if you want to put questions down for us, you can. Oh, someone's commented. Bristol Rovers will win the League One next season. What?
Where's that Pete?
No.
Some people
Bristol
say,
Rovers win the league next season. I'm glad that I won't be seeing them at Aaron Collins in League Two next year. I bet he wishes that he could play against us. Do you know what? He used to play for Tranmere, mate. He only scored 1 goal for us, but he was an okay player, I thought.
he scored
Um,
1 goal in a game that we won 9-0.
Yeah, against Solihull was. Yeah, so guys, if you want to put
Yeah, he's
down
okay
some
player.
questions, I'm sure we'll answer them for you. So, going on to number 12. I've gone for number 12, Charlton Athletic. They're a good team, Charlton. We've got some great players in their squad. Connor Washington,
He's not there anymore.
isn't he?
No, he's at Rotherham.
Corey Blackett-Taylor, obviously former Tranmere player. Obviously, he's been doing well for them. But I just think, obviously, they've lost their manager, obviously, because he went to Wimbledon. But I do think Charlton are a good club. They've got some good fans and a good fan base. I do think they'd be okay for next season. So, yeah, I'm saying them for 12th.
12th, I've said Cambridge, like Joe, like you've already said. They've got Sam Smith and Ironside, who probably bag around 30 goals between them. Got some good young players as well, like Joe said. And I really like their manager, Mark Bonner. I think he's a really good manager. And yeah.
Right. Go on, Joe.
My number 12 is Charlton Athletic. Basically the same as Alex. I think obviously they've got a new the owner, Sangard. He's probably going to put some money into it. I think you've still got players like Ings, who's a good player. What's his name? The goalkeeper, they got him from Portsmouth. I know that for sure. And also they got Jake Forrester, Cassidy, and Stockley. And I feel like they could do well.
Who did you say, Joe?
Charlton.
Hang on. Hasn't that striker left? I'm sure he has.
Stockley.
Stockley.
I'm sure he's left.
Are you sure?
From what I've heard, but right, Scunthorpe United will win National League. I'm not counting on it, mate. I'm not counting on it. I hate to say this, who I think will win it. Well,
Dorking.
I'm saying
Up the Dorking Wanderers.
What?
Up the Dorking Wanderers, who won the National League South playoffs.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
Right, okay. So on to number 11. Number 11 is Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth, yes, they absolutely bottled it the last game of the season. Game hammered 5-0 against MK Dons. Obviously, they could have been in the playoffs last season, but things weren't meant to be for them. But yeah, I just think they've got an okay team, they've got an okay manager, but do I think they'll be up in the top 7, top 6? No chance.
Would you call it bottle though? because
I don't think so.
I
Mate.
wouldn't call it, well, I wouldn't call it bottom.
Hang on. But didn't they get beat 5-0 at home?
Yeah, but MK Dons were third, and they were trying to get second.
So yeah, I wouldn't say they bottled it. I just think
I wouldn't call it bottling.
Right. Go on, Jack.
where are we? 11th.
11, yeah. Legs
I
11.
said Oxford United.
Okay.
I've look at the from here to top of the league, and there's just so many better teams in them. Well, maybe apart from the next one, but yeah, I just can't see them getting playoffs this season.
Joe.
11th, I went for Derby. I just think Mike Ashley will take over, and he will sweet talk with the FA and everything else. I don't think they'll have a points deduction I think they'll get a little one, but not as much. And I think they'll get players in, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Right. Next one is number 10. Is MK Dons. I think with MK Dons, I think they had a great season last year. But obviously, when people say, obviously, the likes of Sutton had a great season last season, and other teams, I just think it won't happen for them next season. Obviously, they've got Manning as their manager. But I don't know, but I can see him going somewhere else. But yeah, so going on to Jack now. On to
I've
number 11. Number 10.
I said Charlton, similar to MK Dons. I just think there's far better teams than them that will restrict them from getting anywhere near the playoffs. And yeah, that's all really.
Go on, Joe.
My number 10 is Plymouth. I think the reason why they got into the playoffs is because of Ryan Lowe's job, like the job that Ryan Lowe did, not Stephen Schumacher. And I just think it's going to show that later on. I do feel like some players will leave. I think Cooper, I think he will leave. I think they got Ryan Hardy. He will go. I think there's a player called Camera, I'm pretty sure, and I think he'll go to Preston. So yeah. Sorry, Plymouth fans. Sorry, Pie Face.
Right. Going into our number 9. Obviously, this team has been in playoff hunt for quite a few seasons now, and that is all Oxford United. I don't think it'll happen again for them. Obviously, they've got some good players. They've got an okay manager, but I just don't think it'll edge it. I don't think they will edge it to the top 6 for next season. Obviously, they've had some really good players, but yeah, I'm saying 9th. Jack.
9th, I've gone MK Dons. I think last season was a bit of a one-hit wonder thing. I think if it was meant to be, they would have won the playoffs, but they couldn't even get to the final. And I think they could get playoffs again if they could keep hold of Scott Twine, but I can't see him staying after the season they had last year. But if they do lose Scott Twine, they still have a good enough squad to finish as high as 9th.
Joe.
I've also gone for MK Dons. I just think they'll just remind me of Lincoln, I think, next season. And you look at players who obviously went on loan and obviously went there. You've got Jamie Cumming. He's not there. He was on loan from Chelsea. You've got Scott Twine. He's a really good player. And then you've got players like Harry Darling, really underrated centre back. Dean Lewington. He fits in the back three. Or Ahora, I think that's his name. I can't say his name. And then you say you got Scott Twine, which I think he'll go somewhere like a Norwich. I reckon.
O'Hara.
Yeah, he's a young centre back from MK.
Yeah. Right. Going into my number 8 is Peterborough United. Obviously, they got relegated last season to the League One from the Championship. I do think they'll be trying to fight for playoffs, but I just don't think it will happen for them. Obviously, the amount of players they've lost last season and a bit this season, I don't think they're going to be the team like they were a few years back. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Peterborough for 8th. Jack?
I've gone with Portsmouth. I just think with Portsmouth that if they were ever gonna get promoted back to the Championship, I think it would have been years ago when they got knocked out against Sunderland in the semi-final. I think Cowley will do it for them though. I think it's just going to take a few years, for a good rebuild. And obviously, if Gavin Bazunu goes to Southampton, they'll need a new goalkeeper because I think they've got Alex Bass, who was on loan at Bradford last season.
Yeah.
I don't think he's good enough.
He's not cutting.
He wasn't great for Bradford, and just, if you're not great for Bradford in League Two, you're not good enough for Portsmouth side that wants to be in the Championship.
Go on, Joe.
I've also gone for Portsmouth. Me and Jack have got a lot in common. I just think the same reason. I think Ronan Curtis, I think he'll leave. I think they need to build a team around him as much as they can. And like you say, Gavin Bazunu was obviously loaned from City, and he's joining Southampton. So at least he's going to be far, but quite close to Portsmouth. But going to their rivals.
Very controversial.
Very controversial. I think Cowley is the right manager, like Jack said. I just think, like I said, you just need more players around them, that suits Cowley's sort of style and feeds more to Ronan Curtis.
Right. The team that's going to miss out on playoffs is Barnsley. Barnsley are a team that obviously got relegated last season, that finished 24th. They obviously didn't have a great season with the money things and everything, money, losing the manager, and it just didn't work out for them. The amount of players that they've lost from last season, I just don't think they'll be up there. I think they'll just miss out on playoffs. So going on to Jack.
The team I said just to miss out on playoffs is Plymouth. If Ryan Lowe did stay at Plymouth last season, I think they would have got automatics. But yeah, they'll lose a bunch of players, and I think they'll they've got what's his name, Broom, who'll get a few goals for
Ryan
them.
Broom.
Yeah.
Is he there permanently? I thought he was at Peterborough.
No, I think he's.
Is that Plymouth?
Oh, is that Plymouth? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've got if they can keep Kamara, then yeah. But if they lose Kamara,
Yeah.
I think they could even slip down to 10th if they lose Kamara. But yeah, sorry, Pie Face, but you're missing out.
That's what I based it on. If they lose Kamara,
yeah. Sorry, Pie Face, but yeah, Plymouth are missing out on playoffs.
Go on, Joe.
My 7th I went for is Oxford. I think they've got all rounds not a bad team. They've got something going on there now, but they've still got some players less, I think, and obviously their young centre back's been linked with Tottenham for a while. I don't think that's happening now. I'm not sure, but they've got decent strikers. You've got Sam Winnall, Matty Taylor, who knows the league, and he probably wants to score against Bristol Rovers and things like that. So he's probably up for that. So.
You done?
Yep.
Right. Top 6 now. Who is in the playoffs? My team is a team that has won the FA Cup, and obviously they've got a madman who is a Portsmouth fan named John. I'm saying Portsmouth because I think they've got a good team. They've got some great players in their squad. Sean Waggett, obviously the Man City goalie who was on loan last season. And I just think, obviously, they've got some great players in the squad. I just think the Cowards just need to build that team, and I think they'll be okay to get in the playoffs next season. But I do think it's going to be difficult for them.
6, I've gone for. It's hard for me to say this because I really don't like them. Bolton. You've got a really good manager in Ian Evatt. You've got Dion Charles and Bakayoko scoring for fun. They've got Josh, what's his name? Josh Sheehan, who was injured last season, but I think he'll be able to do a good job this season. What?
I said he's so underrated.
He is, yeah. And they've got that right back, Fossey. Yeah, so I reckon that'll be enough to get them in the playoffs. Has he gone to Fulham?
Well, no, he was on loan from Fulham.
Oh, never mind. But yeah, I think they'll still have enough to get playoffs.
Jack, all I'm going to say is you're going to hate me what I'm going to say in a minute. You're going to hate me, but I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Go on, Joe.
Stop them to win the league.
Okay. So I think 6 just to get into the playoffs. I'm going for Barnsley. Yes, they're kind of losing a lot of players, but I feel like it all depends if they actually do manage to get Neil Warnock out of retirement. That's the only thing I'll put them 6th for. That's the only thing. Purely based on that.
Right. Going into my top 5 now. Ooh. A team that just missed out of going up to the Championship last season, and that is Wycombe Wanderers. Obviously, Wycombe Wanderers are a great team. They've got a great manager in Gareth
Ainsworth.
Gareth Ainsworth, one of the fantastic manager. I would take him at Tranmere. I think he has the asset to get the club back to where they belong. I think they'll get back there next season. And I think, I'm going to say this now and make a statement, they're going to win the playoffs next season. That's what I'm saying right now. Going on to Jack.
For 5th, I have said Barnsley as well. And for the same reason as Joe, if they can get Warnock out of retirement, they'll get playoffs. But yeah, that's all I've got to say.
5th, I've also went with Alex. I went for Wycombe. I just think Gareth Ainsworth is a brilliant manager. I feel like they kind of obviously lost into the playoffs against Sunderland, so they kind of want to do a good fairy tale, especially when obviously it was Arsene Wenger's last game as well. And I just think they've got people like Sam Folkes, and he can still play in League One.
Yeah. Someone's just said, would I take Clayton Donaldson? Not a chance.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
a chance.
Clayton Donaldson's like stress levels, isn't he?
He was good at Brentford.
Bradford.
Did he go to
Brentford. He
Birmingham?
was at Brentford.
He was at Bradford a few years ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't he at Bolton as well?
Yeah, he's been at Bolton.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't have
Well,
him.
I just don't think he's as good as what everyone says he is. I think he's shit.
He'd just be like a Nicky Maynard. He comes off the bench a few times.
I'd rather have Maynard over.
Same, I'd rather Nicky Maynard over Clayton Donaldson.
Right. The next team is bloody hell. Soccer is finally on for the second half. Fine. Right. Who did I say?
4th.
Right, this is going to be your shot. This is going to shock you the most now.
Oh no, here we go.
My team of fourth. It's not Ipswich. It's Bristol Rovers.
What?
I think Bristol Rovers can do something next season with Joey Barton. They've got the team. They've got Harry Anderson. They've got Aaron Collins. Fantastic players. If they build on the team, if they get Anthony, is it Anthony Hughes? Is it
Evans.
Evans? Great player. If they can sign them players, they'll be up there next season massively. And I think they're going to be the ones to watch out for next season massively. So going on to Jack.
For fourth, I've said Wickham. Gareth Ainsworth is a really good manager, like you both said. And they've got a good squad. They've got Sam Vokes, who can still score goals, obviously. And yeah, I think they'll win the playoffs as well. That's all.
Go on, Jack.
My fourth I went for is Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like they've still got some players. I feel like they've got people like Barry Bannon, Josh Windass. The only issue I've got at the moment with Sheffield Wednesday is they haven't got another goalkeeper because Peacock Farrell is on loan from Burnley. So
They've got Cam Dawson.
yeah, Cam Dawson, but I mean you got him, but then you also like Exeter might want him back. Like it depends on Bishop, obviously, of course. I basically put it around that. I think because I rate Peacock Farrell massively, and I think he's a good young goalkeeper. So that for me, that's why I put Wednesday in fourth.
Right. The team in third, I put is Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town to finish third. But the thing is, will they bring in the right players for them next season? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, they've got some good players, obviously, letting Thingy go last season. James Nord, hopefully he comes back to Tranmere. But we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, obviously they've got the former Manchester United coach. So we just got to see what happens. So I'm saying Ipswich finished third.
Third, I have put Peterborough. I think
Oh,
every
good goal, England.
who scored it?
I think it's Lewis, I think. What a celebration.
Go on.
Anyway,
Go on.
Peterborough always around third in League One. Like around, they always have a chance of getting all those. And
Hey,
well, he did
it's
it last
Tom
time,
Grennan.
didn't he?
It's Tom Grennan.
Were you watching the Soccer Aid thing?
Yeah, he scored. It's a good goal.
Yeah. I think they've got that striker, what's his name? It's a double barreled name.
Clark Harris.
Yeah. I think he'll be good for them this season. And got Ollie Norburn, the old Tranmere midfielder, who I loved. He was my favourite player.
Can I
when he
say
was at us.
something? Can I say something? He's their captain.
Yeah. They've got Kent. They've got yeah. I just think they'll just about miss out on Autoso because the two teams we've got above them will be too strong for them. Joe.
My third, I went for Bolton. I just think maybe they'll go for James Trafford again. I feel like they would need another goalkeeper. And I think just the second half of the season, I feel like Bolton were on a roll, and obviously it's a shame it was too little too late. I feel like you say they've got people like Morley in. They've also got that Irondale from Cambridge. So I feel like he would be a good sign. He's a good signing. And I just think it's looking up for Ian Evatt and Bolton.
So I've noticed that Joe's put Ipswich in the top two.
Indeed.
What a surprise. No surprise there. Jack, don't kill me now. Don't kill me. I'm putting
Oh,
Bolton second because their team last season were fantastic. They were good. They had the right mentality. They had the right players, and I think they can get promoted next season. I don't want them to, but I've just got a feeling they will because they've got a good bond in the team, obviously with um, the former Barrow manager and former Blackpool player. But I just think they'll be up there next season. But yeah, just have to see what happens. So going on to Jack.
second I put Ipswich. I think
Fucking hell.
Go on, Jack. Jack, you're on mute.
Jack.
Whoops. Anyway,
So Ipswich second.
yeah, I think we've got a really good manager in McKenna. I've lost my train of thought now. Freddie Ladapo is a really good signing, I think. They've got Selena, they've got Connor
He was on
Chaplin.
loan.
Selena was on loan.
Never mind. They've still got a good enough squad. They've got Edmondson's good centre back. Yeah, I think he's will go up.
My second place is Ipswich. I don't think we'll win it. But like Jack said, we've got people like Edmondson, Chaplin, Jackson signed a new deal, Ladapo new signing. I don't think we'll sign 19 players like we did last season, but I feel like McKenna will sign players that he needs for what the team needs. And I hope we sign Selena permanently, but obviously we're waiting to see on that. But like I say, it's looking up for Ipswich, and I feel like we'll get second.
The person who said they are going up. I'm sorry to say this, but I can see Rochdale getting relegated.
What?
Sorry, but
Rochdale,
I do think that could happen.
Rochdale to get relegated.
Yeah, because
But
they're.
Alex.
You did not put that in your predictions.
I know, but I think they're in debt, man.
There's a lot worse teams than them though. Harrogate are down.
I agree.
Harrogate are going down, and Barrow are.
Yes, thank you, Jack.
Did you say them?
Yeah. Wait,
Right.
what order?
Who is winning?
Harrogate bottom.
Wait, well, who bottom?
Harrogate.
Fuck, I went for Barrow.
I went for Barrow as well. Right. Who's winning the league?
Well, then Alex is first. Here we
The
go.
team in Yorkshire. No, sorry. Team in Sheffield. Team in Sheffield is Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday to win the league, to win the trophy, to bring it home to Sheffield Wednesday. They've got some great players in the likes of Barry Bannon and Josh
Gregory.
Windass. Fantastic players. And I just think they will do it next season. I think they'll be fantastic. So Sheffield Wednesday to win the league.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've got Sheffield Wednesday to win the league, and yeah, exactly what you said. They've got Barry Bannon. They've got Lee Gregory is permanent, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got Gregory who's scoring goals for fun, and Windass. Yeah, they've got a brilliant squad, and yeah, a squad that's well too good for League One in my opinion. So yeah, I think I'll go up.
David Seaman coming off the pit, off the subs bench. Fucking hell.
Right, and my first place, I went for Peterborough. I feel like Jonathan Clark-Harris knows the league. He'll start firing all cylinders. Like you say, you've got people like Kent. You've got, what's his name?
Northern.
Norburn. Edwards, young Edwards, he's a young prospect. You've got, I think it's Fuchs. I think they got him last summer. I think he's a good player. George Grant, I know he's transfer listed apparently, but I feel like he could do something in League One. I feel like they need to get some more players. I think they obviously need a good goalkeeper. I feel like they'll probably get Wilkes from Hull. I think because he's actually out of contract. So, and obviously it's Grant McCann's the manager. So I feel like they'll be doing the Yo-Yo Club again.
So,
Should I say start of it?
So that is our League One table predictions for 2022-23 season. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be an energy one. Or Ipswich going to get promoted?
Hell yeah.
We'll have to find out. But will Sheffield Wednesday win the league?
Yes.
It'd be interesting. And the last thing to say, will Forest Green get relegated back to where they belong in League Two?
Don't even belong in League Two.
Well, nah, sorry, National League. Well, it would be nice, but nah, I don't. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy that video. So please like and subscribe if you are new. If you want to ask any more questions, please put it now because we're going to be going off any second.
I feel like I agree with Jack most of these on these ones.
Yeah, we must have said the same for about a good 8 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right. We've got anything else to say, Joe? Jack?
Nope.
Roll on the season.
Yeah,
Roll on
up
season.
the fucking
Well,
whites.
mainly roll on League Two. So, guys, if you want to see a championship prediction video with me, Joe, or Jack, or maybe Morgan,
Get us me and Morgan in it.
right? Morgan will get in. But yeah, so we'll do that, and then obviously I've already done the Premier League. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching.
Could you not redo it and then just delete your other one?
Fuck that.
What do you mean, fuck that? You're probably way wrong with your predictions anyway.
We'll start our own channel, Joe, and we'll do our...
Yeah. We'll call it the J&J. Double
Yeah,
J.
maybe. Right, let me just check. Let's see how many views I've got then.
That's like 2.
What do you mean? Ooh, 6 away from 600. Love that.
Delete it. Stinker.
I'll give it a dislike if you don't delete it.
Yeah, should we do that, Jack?
And I'll unsubscribe.
What, have you
Yes,
unsubscribed to him?
If you... Yeah, I won't actually. I'd much prefer him to redo the League Two
Got
one.
141 views and 5 likes.
Delete it.
Nah.
Stinker.
Joe, I've got a bone to pick with you, by the way.
Why?
You're predicting us to finish 7th,
Look, where would you put them?
4th.
Yeah, same.
I think we'll get 4th.
Okay. To be honest, Jack, you would hate me even more because I actually predicted them to come 9th, and Alex was like, "No, Jack, put them playoffs, please. Let's do it."
Can you at least have us as playoff winners?
Right.
Wait,
Thank
who
you
was
guys
the
for
first
watching.
playoffs? Wait, let me have a look.
See
Where's
you
that
later.
Alex? Don't do it yet. Who did I put? Yeah, I'm afraid not.
Damn, another season